Welcome to another Analyze Review. My name is Kyle, and here we're going to talk about The Dark Knight and its complex scene involving the interrogation. The Dark Knight is one of the greatest movies ever made because of its incredible story, intricate characters, and a performance by Heath Ledger that will live on forever. It truly is a masterpiece of cinema, not only for its spellbinding action sequences, but for its setup of the story to its climax, which is the interrogation scene. What's most interesting watching this scene is that it doesn't involve any big action moments, and feels very claustrophobic as it takes place in a small room. The smallest room could contain the biggest part of the entire film because of how well it makes every character more fleshed out. This is the climax of the film because it's what everything was leading up to. After this scene, there's a long falling action with the creation of Two-Face, as well as the Joker escaping from jail. There is so much that happens in this sequence that's just so integral to the plot. Harvey Dent gets captured, Rachel gets kidnapped, and Batman snaps all by the Joker's doing. This is his plan, and it is incredibly masterful. And also, in this scene, Gordon then becomes Commissioner Gordon. And at the same time, nothing is found on the Joker. He has no record, making his character stand out because it would just be exposition heavy if he did have some kind of file. This means his actions are completely up to interpretation. Let me explain. If we found out that the Joker lived in a ghetto-type place or just a very violent neighborhood, we might understand where his character is coming from, having those violent backgrounds. But the fact that we just don't know anything about his character, as well as any of his morals, or if he's been into psychiatric wards, or if he had problems when he was a child, because everything we know about him is with the stories he tells people about, hey, you wonder where I got these scars? This scene is so perfect as the Joker meticulously crafted the exact timing of how, where, and when he would escape, as well as how he set the traps for Harvey and Rachel, just to let it detonate just as he's escaping. It's brilliant. In the beginning of the interrogation, Gordon approaches the Joker and has a conversation over Dent's current whereabouts. Please examine the Joker. The entire background is dark, but he completely illustrates this with his pale face. Examine the Joker. The entire background is dark, but he completely illuminates this with his pale face. The color white, which is why he has a pale face, symbolizes purity and innocence. The Joker, in this case, isn't lying about what he says. That's why his face is showing entirely in the clear. But everything else is dark, which perfectly illustrates how evil he is. Now, before I discuss Batman's conversation and its significance, let's talk about the clothing the Joker and Batman are wearing. The Joker is wearing a green vest. The color green symbolizes nature. Now this leads me towards the first scene when the Joker is talking to the mob, and how he states that Batman has shown Gotham their true colors. Note that in that entire scene the Joker is wearing purple, hence it's in their nature, hence true colors. Somewhat of a connection, but it's best I can do. He wears purple pants during the interrogation, to which the color purple symbolizes mischief and imagination. The Joker's schemes are always just completely imaginative, and no matter what, mischief is created. So the colors he wears illustrates the type of character that he is. Now let's talk about two films that are essential to Joker's clothing and Batman's clothing. For the first film, this contains spoilers to the 2000 film Unbreakable. So if you have not seen Unbreakable, please watch it and come back to this podcast. So in this film, Elijah Price, who's played by Samuel L. Jackson, wears the color purple throughout the entire film. It's revealed in the end that he was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of lives, just like the Joker. They also wear the same clothes. Unbreakable ends with Elijah discovering who he is as the arch-villain of David, played by Bruce Willis. In the interrogation scene, the Joker contrasts this to try to describe to Batman just how similar they really are, saying he is the split personality of Batman. This scene truly is the climax because, as I stated before, everything was built up to this moment that is not only a twist, but is truly a sudden realization of something that audiences never thought of. The second film I'm going to mention is Return of the Jedi, or Star Wars Episode 6. Now, there's going to be a brief spoiler in this film, so if you have not seen Return of the Jedi, I highly recommend you do, and then come back to this podcast. It features one of the best battles in cinematic history with Vader against Luke, father against son. So there is now an emotional conflict. In this scene, they both wear black, symbolizing either darkness or fear. Vader can't escape the power of the dark side, so he always shows darkness, but fear of what will happen if he loses that dark side. Luke, on the other hand, shows fear because he doesn't want to become his enemy. Batman exhibits both of these characteristics because he strikes fear into the hearts of every criminal in Gotham, but has fear about not wanting to become the Joker. That's why the moment he snaps makes one of the most heart-racing moments of all time. Batman is now becoming the Joker by beating him senselessly and showing very unnecessary aggression. This scene literally epitomizes good versus evil in the very beginning, but then tries to twist it around to show, wait, who is the freak in this instance? Who's the one that will beat up the other one senselessly? Who's the one that will go mad first? It completely changes the character arcs of both of the characters simultaneously, making this one of the most intense and visceral scenes I have ever seen in my life. Everything following this is just falling action, because the climax is the big reveal and twist that we just could not expect. As everything falls from grace, all of the characters suffer, leading to an incredibly emotional conclusion that is so unforgettable, it becomes one of the most powerful endings in history. Thank you guys for watching this podcast. If you stayed the whole time, I appreciate it very much. The Dark Knight is such a great film, and that scene I just felt like I needed to explain, and I hope that you guys will see it differently, and I hope that you will see this section of the film differently. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.